Another day comes to a close. You get home from work, sink into the couch, and open your phone. Instagram. You scroll. A friend just bought a new car. You tapped the heart button. But after your finger left the screen, something in your chest feels heavier. You keep scrolling. A college classmate got promoted. Someone from high school just bought a place in the city. Director's notas. Fotos de un viaje a Europa. Director's notes. Someone's perfect family photo. And then, for a moment, you look at yourself. You had the same kind of day you always have. Your bank account hasn't changed. Nothing particularly bad happened. And yet, why do you feel so small? This isn't because you're weak. It isn't because you lack willpower. The truth is, this feeling has a name. Psychologists call it social comparison. It's one of the oldest habits of the human heart, something every single one of us experiences. But here's the problem. This comparison doesn't make us better people. In fact, it quietly erases the things inside us, what we have, the road we've walked, who we're becoming. Today, I want to dig into the roots of this comparison, addiction through the language of Proverbs. And together, I want us to find what the Bible calls your own standard. But before we go there, I want to name something we often miss. Before social media existed, comparison was still there. But today's comparison is on a completely different scale. In the past, you compared yourself to people within a few miles of your life. Same neighborhood, same office, same school. The radius of comparison was limited. But now, every single day, we scroll through the highlight reels of hundreds, even thousands of people. The single most beautiful photo from someone's vacation. The one glowing face on the day of a promotion. And we compare all of those highlights to our entire ordinary life. That is not a fair comparison. Es como comparar un tráiler de película de otra persona al tuyo. Behind the scenes footage. No wonder we always feel like we're losing. The world has always encouraged comparison. Which school did you graduate from? What's your salary? How big is your place? ¿Dónde van tus hijos a escuela? From the moment we're born, we're thrown into a world of comparison. Who's doing better in school, you or your sibling? What's your ranking in class? Are you taller or shorter than your friends? And it doesn't stop when we become adults. The measuring stick just changes. Reportes de calificación se convierten en recibos de pago. Class rankings become square footage. So, is comparison itself the problem? Not entirely. Comparison was originally a tool for finding direction. I want to be like that person can sometimes fuel genuine growth. But somewhere along the way, the direction got twisted. Comparison stopped being a tool for growth and became a tool for self-rejection. I'm not as good as that person. I'm behind. At my age, this is all I've managed to become. Maybe you're thinking this right now. Are you telling me to stop comparing myself to others? Does that mean I should just give up on improving? Just settle for where I am? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I want us to look at together today is this: not stopping comparison, but changing the reference point. Stopping the habit of measuring your life against someone else's and starting to measure it against the unique design God placed inside you. Proverbs 14:30 says this: "A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones." Envy rots the bones. This isn't just a metaphor. It's a medical reality. Chronic comparison and envy keep your body in a low-grade stress state, suppressing your immune system, disrupting your sleep. slowly wearing down both your body and your mind. Solomon knew this thousands of years ago. Let's go to the text. The book of Proverbs in Hebrew, Mishlei, director's notes, means wisdom sayings or comparisons used to teach. It's Solomon's life instruction manual. Director's notes. For his son and for every generation that would follow. What's interesting about the wisdom in Proverbs is this. It's not about how to get ahead of others. It's about how to stay on your own path. Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Guarda tu corazón. This isn't telling you to suppress your emotions. It's telling you to protect the center of your life, your reference point, your anchor. When the waves of comparison roll in, don't let them sweep you away. Hold on to the anchor inside you. Now let's look at the parable of the workers in the vineyard. Director's notes. Matthew chapter 20. This parable cuts straight to the heart of comparison psychology. A landowner went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay them a denarius for the day and sent them to work. He went out again at 9 in the morning and hired more, at noon, at 3 in the afternoon, and again at 5, just 1 hour before the workday ended. When evening came, the owner called everyone to receive their pay. Starting with the last ones hired, he gave each worker 1 denarius. The workers who had been there since sunrise expected more, but they received the same, and they were furious. These men who were hired last worked only 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us, who have borne the burden of the work and the heat of the day. Do you hear what they're actually saying? Their complaint wasn't that they received too little. They received exactly what was promised. Their complaint was that someone else received the same. The owner responds, "We sold 500 last month and another 400 this month. We sold 250,000. Friend, I am not being unfair to you. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius? Take your pay and go. I want to give the one who was hired last the same as I gave you." Here is the core of this parable. Comparison makes you unable to see the value of what you've already received. The workers who started at dawn had a full day's wage in their hands, exactly what was promised, exactly what they'd earned. But the moment they looked sideways, that denarius suddenly felt lighter. The value of what they held was now being determined by what someone else held. This is the most dangerous mechanism of comparison addiction. Comparison makes what you have invisible. It erases the meaning of the road you've walked. All that remains is the gap between you and someone else. Let me tell you about someone, not a biblical figure, someone who could be living right next door to you. 36 years old, works at a mid-sized company, not a corporate giant, but a solid job he's held for 10 years. The pay is decent. He has a modest apartment. His kids are healthy. His marriage is stable. By any objective measure, a good life. But every night before bed, he opens his phone. The old high school group chat. A friend's business success story. A college classmate's Instagram. An overseas posting. A promotion. A YouTube algorithm feeding him stories of young millionaires. And without realizing it, he starts doing math. That friend is 2 years younger than me and already a team leader. That guy started the same year I did, and he's already clearing 6 figures. 10 años. What do I have to show for it? By the time the math is done, he lands on a conclusion. I'm just ordinary. And somehow, somewhere along the way, ordinary has become a synonym for failure. But stop for a moment. 10 years of showing up faithfully every single day, tightening his budget to afford that apartment. Director's notes. The Mumbles by Hans Ernst Fifia E. Smith. All of that erased, made weightless by a single friend's promotion post. This is what comparison does. It steals your story. It takes the unique chapters of your life and deletes them by comparing them to someone else's table of contents. Galatians 6:4 speaks directly to this. Each one should test their own actions. Then they can take pride in themselves alone. Director's notes. Without comparing themselves to someone else. Take pride in themselves alone. This isn't arrogance. It's a refusal to let someone else's life become the standard for your own. Your story can only be measured from inside your story. And Psalm 139:14 declares this, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Fearfully and wonderfully made. That's you. No una persona cuyo valor es determinado por comparación. A person cuyo diseño ya era extraordinario before a single comparison was ever made. That is how God sees you. I want to stop here for just a moment. Director's notes. Feel free to actually pause the video. Is there a scene from what we've covered so far that's been sitting with you? Did you see yourself in the workers who complained at dawn? Let's keep going. Here's something I want to be honest with you about. ¿Podemos completamente eliminar la comparación? Honestly, no. We are social creatures. Comparison is hardwired into the human brain. In prehistoric times, understanding your position within the group was a matter of survival. Our brains are still running that same program today. Entonces, ¿qué hacemos? The Bible's answer isn't to eliminate comparison, it's to redirect it. Here's the distinction I want you to hold on to. There are 2 directions comparison can run. The first is horizontal comparison, measuring yourself against other people. The second is vertical comparison, measuring yourself against who you were yesterday. Horizontal comparison has no finish line. There will always be someone further ahead, someone with more, someone who started earlier. The destination of horizontal comparison is always scarcity. Pero vertical comparación es diferente. Did I comparar un poco hoy con respecto a ayer? Am I a little deeper this year than last year? This kind of comparison has an ending, and that ending is called completion. This is what Proverbs means by your own standard. No son la scorecard de otra persona, but the blueprint God designed specifically for you. Asking yourself each day, did I take one step forward on my own path? But here's the question that naturally follows. How do I find that blueprint? How do I discover what my unique design actually is? Proverbs 35:36 answers this. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. Director's notes. Lean not on your own understanding. This doesn't mean stop thinking. It means stop letting your own calculations, your own comparisons, your own scorekeeping be the final word on the value of your life. Trust the one who designed you to guide you on the path he made for you. And practically speaking, that path reveals itself in the things you already know deep down, the things you lose track of time doing, the moments when you feel most fully alive, the quiet work that no one else notices, but that you find deeply meaningful. Those are the clues written on the first pages of your blueprint. Here's a question I want to leave with you. Director's notes. Pause the video if you'd like. Take 30 seconds. When I'm not comparing myself to anyone else, what is the thing in my life that feels most meaningful? That answer is your standard. Director's notes. Engraved inside you. Maybe you're thinking, that sounds nice, but I can't just opt out of comparison. It's everywhere, at work, at family dinners, at reunions. Comparison is in the air I breathe. You're right. I know. You can't live in a world without comparison. But whether you allow that comparison to define you, that's a different question entirely. Let's go back to the Vineyard parable one more time. The workers who came at dawn and the ones who came at 5. There's something we passed over earlier. Why did the late workers arrive so late? The Bible tells us they were standing idle in the marketplace because no one had hired them. They wanted to work. The opportunity just hadn't come. The owner knew that. That's why he gave them a full day's wage. His standard wasn't market logic. It was seeing each person's situation, their story, their circumstance. This is how God sees us. Not how early you started, not how far ahead you are compared to someone else, but where you are right now and how faithful you've been in the place you've been called to. There's one more layer to comparison addiction that runs even deeper. It's an identity problem. The most fundamental reason we compare ourselves to others is that we're not sure who we are. We're not sure if we're enough, if we're okay, if our life has value. And because we can't find that answer inside ourselves, we go looking for it outside. That's why other people's opinions feel so powerful. That's why the number of likes on a post matters so much. That's why one person's achievement at a reunion can shake your entire sense of self. When there's no firm standard inside you, other people's standards move right in and take over. But here's what the Bible offers. Not just a better standard, but a completely different source of identity. The psalmist says, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made." This isn't a claim of superiority. It's a statement about origin. The way I was made, the process itself is already wonderful. God diseñó personalmente. No two people in the world share the same fingerprints. And no two people share the same God-designed life trajectory. Your path cannot be compared to someone else's. The comparison simply doesn't apply. It's like asking an apple tree why it doesn't grow oranges. The apple tree is complete as an apple tree. You are complete, designed to be complete as you. But knowing this truth isn't enough on its own. It needs to become a practice. Every morning, before you look at anyone else's news, ask yourself one question. Did I take one step today on the path I was designed for? The wisdom in Proverbs isn't information. It's a way of life. Not something you know in your head, something you choose every single day. Holding your anchor when the waves of comparison roll in. Director's notes. Unfolding your own blueprint instead of reading someone else's. That is what Proverbs means by your own standard. And the person who has that stand no se quede destruido por comparación. They may be shaken, but they don't fall, because their anchor isn't dropped in someone else's opinion. It's dropped in the design of God. If today's message has landed somewhere in you, I'm not asking you to delete your social media tomorrow. I'm not asking you to become indifferent to what's happening in people's lives. What I want to leave you with today are 3 small, practical shifts. First, tonight, write a comparison journal. Director's notes. Write down the moments today when you compared yourself to someone. When did it happen? What triggered it? Who were you comparing yourself to? Don't judge yourself for it. Just observe. Cuando sabes cuándo la comparación ataca más fuerte, you can start to recognize it in the moment. And recognition is the first door to change. Second, director's notes. Replace horizontal comparison with vertical comparison. Instead of asking, how do I measure up against that person? Ask, how I measure up against who I was last year. Once a week, take 10 minutes to compare yourself only to yourself. Director's notes. Write down one way you've grown. One thing that's different from a year ago. When those small growths accumulate, other people's achievements stop feeling like a threat. Third, today, find one thing that makes you most fully you. It doesn't have to be something others praise you for. It can be something you lose track of time doing, something that feels quietly meaningful, even when no one notices. That thing, whatever it is the first page of your blueprint. Now you understand why comparing yourself makes life worse. Comparación roba tu historia. But the wisdom of Proverbs gives it back. One last thing before we close. Letting go of comparison doesn't happen overnight. It's a habit that has been forming in you for decades. At first, you'll try to stop comparing, and then you'll open your phone again, si somen alguien más es más news, again, and feel it again. That's okay. Proverbs doesn't demand perfection. Guard your heart a little more every single day. That is the method of Proverbs wisdom. One stumble today doesn't mean your standard is gone. When you fall, you open your blueprint again. And that repetition, over time, builds the kind of person comparison can no longer define. Proverbs 24:16 says, "For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again." 7 times down. 7 veces back up. That is the picture of someone who keeps their own standard. Not by never falling, but by always getting back up. You are not defined by how you measure up against someone else. You are a one-of-a-kind story, fearfully and wonderfully designed. Keep writing that story one page at a time. Director's notes. Share your answer in the comments. What is the thing that makes you most fully yourself? The moment you say it out loud, comparison begins to lose its grip. Your story is still being written.